Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and as many of you are aware, I am a huge Battletech nerd as well as a fan of the MechWarrior games released by FASA Studios and Microsoft. MechWarrior 3 and MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries were the heavy favorites, and as far as mech simulators were concerned, those games are still played by fans even to this day. They were so well liked. In 2009, Smith and Tinker were working on what was quickly dubbed simply as MechWarrior 5. After the initial trailer was released on IGN, Harmony Gold, who holds the distribution rights for the Robotech series, issued an unchallenged cease and desist to IGN to have the video removed, citing copyright infringement. There were behind-the-scenes legal troubles resulting from that, and Smith and Tinker ended up abandoning the project. A few short years later, Battletech fans were left with the exceptionally banal MechWarrior Online, a game that, while I did purchase the highest-tier Founders Pack, I still hardly ever played due to the pay-to-win mechanics, ghost heat, quirks, and all sorts of other issues resulting from the developers flat-out refusing to make use of a hardpoint system, which is just insane. But before we go off on a tangent about the shortcomings of MechWarrior Online, let's get back on topic. Now, for a while now, we have had Harebrained Schemes, an extremely talented games development company working on Battletech, a tactical mech combat game. These developers brought us Shadowrun Hong Kong, Necropolis, and a great many other video games, some sort of bland, but others that have left me craving more from this company. They have had their fair share of difficulties with this game, but have released the backer beta, and while a bit light on content, it shows a ton of promise and it is shaping up to be a fantastic game. But in spite of their now seemingly hitting their stride, we've recently found out that Harebrained Schemes now faces their own legal troubles with the age-old Robotech enemy Harmony Gold. It seems Harmony Gold is suing Harebrained Schemes for copyright infringement as well as tagging Piranha Games, makers of MechWarrior Online and the currently under development MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, as well as Intermediaries Productions in what is listed as Does 1 through 10. They even went so far as to list Jordan Wiseman directly on the lawsuit, and for those of you who are not aware of who Jordan Wiseman is, he heads up Harebrained Schemes and was also associated with FASA Studios, including the old Mech Commander video games, of which you can see a heavy influence in HBS's Battletech, as well as Shadowrun Returns and Crimson Skies, a flight simulator game released in September of 2000. Needless to say, Jordan Wiseman's simulator bona fides are firmly intact, and there is no question that he has developed a good number of quality games over the years. But Harmony Gold, once again, has swooped in to try and wreck everything over a likeness rights dispute that has gone back well over 30 years within the industry. The core argument is over some dozen or so mech designs that, over the years, have actually become somewhat iconic to both franchises. The current designs in question surrounding their Harebrained Schemes portion of the lawsuit are the Marauder and Marauder 2C, the Atlas, and the Shadowhawk. Now, to my untrained eye, it would seem that, especially in the case of the last two mechs, the similarities are extremely minimal, yet Harmony Gold seems to believe that they are indeed copyright infringement. Harebrained Schemes has answered the allegations and has, of course, denied them to the last, and it seems that there may be continued court proceedings in the future. However, there may not be any continued forward motion on this lawsuit until sometime in September. This appears to be an extremely methodical process, and I can certainly understand why, given the stakes involved. The last time this question of copyright was actually fought was in 1996, which ended up with FASA and Harmony Gold settling out of court, so the final determination of copyright rights was never made, and now it seems that settlement is coming back to haunt Jordan Wiseman again 20 years later. Most people do not know where all of this actually originated, but believe it or not, it spawns from the early 80s, where both Jordan Wiseman and Harmony Gold both licensed designs from Super Dimensional Fortress Macross from 20th Century Imports. The former releasing Battle Droids in 1984, which was rebranded into what we now call Battletech 1 year later in 1985, and the latter also released Robotech in 1985 as well. Now, these two companies managed to coexist peacefully until 1993, and it seems that they must do battle again with the future of the Inner Sphere potentially at stake. Now, Harebrained Schemes unfortunately did not respond to my requests for comment, which is no great surprise given the current legal difficulties. I will, of course, do my best to keep up to date on this situation, but developments will be very slow in coming, and I will continue to hound Harebrained Schemes to try and get them to tell me something. As always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.